Hey y'all, this vlog is making me crazy. I have tried to make it several times and I'm failing so miserably, so bad. Look, I want to talk to you about having a parent who exhibits narcissistic behavior. And I don't want to go into like this event happened and this event happened and this event happened. Um, I just kind of want to keep it short. I've made two 30-minute vlogs that just ramble and just get nowhere. And I don't think I express myself right. Um, so I'm going to try this one last time. One last time. um, my mother trained me to please her. And I didn't do very well. I tried. I tried very hard. Um, I even became dyslexic because I was trying to please her. Now, I'm not blaming her for that. What happened was she noticed me using my left hand and kept mentioning, "You're using your left hand." So I switched to my right hand because I thought she didn't like that I was using my left hand, which confused my brain. And now I'm right-handed, but I have a form of dyslexia that makes it hard for me to express myself verbally, as you can probably tell. I can write lots better than I can talk. Um, so that's another reason I do this YouTube thing, because I wanna try to. I don't know that I can, but I want to try to verbalize my thoughts better. Excuse me. I'm drinking my coffee and I did a little burp. I'm so sorry. Anyway, um, I was raised by someone who was very cold and distant, and I was very emotional and was told often that I was too much, that I was too clingy, I was too emotional, I was too sensitive, and that I make people crazy, that nobody likes me because I'm too needy. Um, I'm too fat. Yeah, I was born with dimples on my belly. I was a big baby. I was 9 pounds 2 ounces. I was born with dimples on my belly. I still have them. um, and my mother said she knew I was going to be fat, so she kept me on a diet. We had those little. I remember the ketone sticks. Um, uh, I think I was like 8 or 9 maybe when we were doing that diet. I think it was Atkins. I'm not positive, but we would pee on those, make sure we were in ketosis. I think it was Atkins. I'm not positive. I know my daddy passed out, so we quit. But there was one diet after another, and until I was 12, I was probably as thin as I was going to be. It's just I had a poochy belly, but I was a kid. I wasn't fat, but I thought I was fat. I thought I was fat. I always thought I was fat. I don't remember ever feeling like I wasn't fat. But I wasn't. I wasn't fat at all. I was a size 7. I went to spend the summer with my grandmother, and I was there a month, and then I was a size 14. Because my grandmother could cook. And she also liked to buy me White Castles and candy. And, um, you know, I got to run down to Bob's Market and buy candy and Big Red. So, yeah. Anyway, so after that, I never was thin again. Never. Well, no, my smallest was 175 when I was in 89, 88, 88. So, yeah. Um, I lost weight on a low-fat diet, I think. I don't remember how I lost the weight that time. I've lost and gained my whole life. I think it's the worst thing you could possibly do to your body. Diets are evil, and that's why I won't do them anymore, ever again. Don't ask me. Anyway, um, no, but my mother was unpleasable. She was, and I did my best, but I failed. I'm going to try to talk about this really quick without crying. Um, I married Paul because he was what I thought God wanted me to marry. He was the kind of man I thought God wanted me to marry. And it was important to please God. It was important to please my mother. Therefore, pleasing my mother would please God. I didn't want to get rejected by God. So to please my mother, and I had to please him. And I was not in love with Paul, but I did love him. He's a wonderful man. He did not deserve that. He did not. He deserved to be marrying a woman who was passionately in love with him. And I thought that that would happen over time, that if I did what God wanted me to do, that he would bless me and all that stuff would develop. And it does not work that way at all. I just want to say, I don't want to go into that a whole lot. I just want to say that at this point Paul and I are roommates, we're housemates, we're best friends, and I love him to death, but he is my friend. We are cohabiting this apartment. I'm upstairs, he's downstairs. I care about him very much, but we're not together. So that's all I'm going to say about that. If you have questions, you can ask me, and I might tell you. Probably I'm an open book. Anyway, I mentioned that because I want to explain to you how immersed I was in the idea that it was mandatory that I please my mother. The rejection was just too much. I can't handle it. Yeah. And I think it took until I was 47. I went through, I had therapy when I was looking into having weight loss surgery. My kids had just started college. Both of them were gone to college and out of the house, and I was looking at my future. It was bleak. So I thought, I can't keep sitting here just doing nothing. So I looked into weight loss surgery, and you have to be cleared for psychiatric clearance. And so I went to do that, and I was cleared, and everything was great. She asked me a question. She asked me, so do you have any questions for me about the weight loss surgery? And I said, I know this is a tool. This is not a solution. So what's going to keep me from coming back to this point after I've gone through all of the pain of having my innards rearranged? What then? And she said, I think you need therapy. And I had therapy for about a year. And during that time, I just kind of woke up and saw that had spent my entire life being something I wasn't. And I started to find me, and I'm still finding me, but I started seeing my mother for what she was and what she had done to me and what she was doing to my daughter. For some reason, my mother never did this to my son. I'm thankful for that. She never did it to my brother. It was just me. She did things to Leonard. I mean, she expected certain. She had her own things with Leonard and Nathaniel, but not like with me and Mary Lou. And I don't know what that was and why that was. It's funny because her own mother did the same thing. My two uncles were treated much differently than my mother was. So I don't know. My mother gaslighted me. She would say often that I needed to be committed that I destroyed the peace in the home, that I was crazy. She told me on many occasions that she loved me, but she didn't like me, that I needed too much, that I already told you that, that I didn't try hard enough, that I was lazy, that, things like that, I was just, and then if I called her on anything, I just didn't understand her. I was too sensitive. I mean, didn't understand, and that I misunderstood her, that she didn't mean it that way. I just took it wrong because I'm too sensitive. She was really harsh with Mary Lou, more than I realized. I started realizing it. Then Mary Lou has generalized anxiety disorder, and because of that, she had a lot of physical manifestations, like losing her hair and was sick all the time. My mother was very fond of saying, it's just the devil. You need to just pray. You're not praying hard enough. It's just the devil. I guess I was just used to I don't know why. I look back on that and I think, why didn't I protect Mary Lou better? I really don't know. I mean, I would stand up and say, why would you say that to her? But I didn't really draw a line and say, you cannot come into my home and do this. And I'm really, really regretful of that, because she bullied my daughter. She bullied me, and then she bullied my daughter, and I allowed it. To an extent, I allowed it. And yes, I have begged Mary Lou for forgiveness, and she's really tired of hearing me say I'm sorry. And she'll probably hear it some more, because it's something I really regret. Mary Lou has told me, Mama, sorry. She said, Mama, I have forgiven you. You just need to forgive yourself. It's just not that easy. So sorry. When you know what it feels like and you allow that to happen to your daughter because you were too afraid to stand up to this beast. I'm not calling my mother a beast, but what's causing her to be this way was very, very much beastly. Just a moment. All right, I've pulled myself together. Anyway, so I think after being rejected so much, I think that's probably the reason I have borderline personality disorder. I've been lucky because mine isn't as severe as it could have been. But I look back over things that I've done and I'm appalled. Now, what happens now is I do take things wrong. I do make assumptions. Now I just have to take a moment and breathe and meditate for a moment and think through it. Be mindful of reality instead of what my emotions are telling me or what my past is telling me. And I've learned to think through things and breathe through things and before I react. And if I can't get past it, then I have to just ask. And sometimes it's so stupid. It's so stupid. But I can't help it. It's like I automatically feel that way. And there's times when I have emotions, I have anger or hurt, and I don't know why. I have no reason. I have no explanation as to why. So I just try to breathe through it and stay away from people and not infect them with my issue. If I felt rejected by someone, whether they rejected me or not, I made them pay for it. I did. It was awful. For example, okay, Mary Lou posted this meme or something on Facebook. It was not a big deal, but it was something about mama bears being protective of their babies. And she had tagged her friends in it that were mamas. And she didn't tag me. Now, that's a ridiculous thing to get hung up on. But what I thought was, did she not tag me because she doesn't? I don't think she was gigging me. I didn't think she was like saying, see, you don't get tagged. It wasn't like that. It was more like I thought, she doesn't think of me as a mama bear that I would protect her because I didn't protect her. And I wouldn't go away. And just a minute. I swear, y'all, I'm going to make a video where I don't cry. I promise. I appreciate y'all putting up with me. No, but that's what I had on my mind, that she doesn't see me as a protective mother. And it hurt. And I thought, but maybe that's not what she felt at all. And I'm hurting for nothing. So finally, I just went to her. And then I'm so thankful my family and people understand me, and they're willing to let me do this. But I went to her and I told her how I felt. And I asked her if she just didn't feel that I had protected her. And that's why she didn't tag me. And she says, no. She said, that's not how I felt at all. She felt it all. She said, no, she just didn't think of me because she wasn't thinking of me in those terms. She was thinking of her friends who were babies, who had babies. And then we went through the whole thing. Mama, you've got to forgive yourself. And you did the best you could, and you protected me, and blah, blah, blah. You know, but yeah, she's pretty amazing. I had amazing children. Lucky. I'm very blessed. Okay, so anyway, that's what I'm talking about. I think if you have borderline personality disorder, a lot of that comes from rejection. That's another thing, and I'm just going to slip this political thing in there. Just going to slip it in, and real quick. It's been on my mind since it happened. All those babies that were ripped from their parents, and yeah, I say ripped from their parents. They didn't like walk away willingly without pain. Those parents did not let them go willingly without struggling. So yeah, ripped away from their parents. They're going to, how many of those little kids are going to end up feeling this way, or dealing with borderline personality disorder or other mental health issues, because that was dramatic. See, we don't get away from trauma. We don't. No one escapes childhood trauma. No one. Some are more severe than others. I will even tell you that my mother was the way she was because she went through some childhood trauma. When she was 18, she was brutally attacked. Her mother treated her the same way she's treating me. So, I do have compassion for my mother, but I can't allow her to wreak havoc with my family anymore. So I keep her at a distance. And that's why my mother and I do not have a relationship at this moment. I have tried several times since we had a big blow up at Christmas 2 years ago. And that's when it all ended, and I drew the line. And I have since tried to make amends and tried to fix things and tried to have a discussion. It doesn't work. So sometimes you just have to take a step back and say, I'm done, And I have contacted my brother, and he and she do have a limited relationship, and I have explained to him that I will be there to help him with whatever he needs me to help him with regarding my mother, or regarding anything really, but especially with my mother, because I can't socialize with my mother. I mean, I'm going to be responsible, a responsible daughter, but I can't socialize with her. So I feel that there is a myriad of issues that I deal with on a daily basis because I was raised by a narcissistic person. I could go on for a long time about that, and I don't want to. So, and I know you don't want me to either. So, if you do have questions, though, please feel free to comment below or send me a private message on Instagram or Twitter. I will definitely answer it. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and I hope you got something out of it. I hope that if nothing else, you know me a little better. Know that no matter what you're going through, no matter who what I'm trying to say is, just because they birthed you and raised you and sacrificed for you, that does not mean you owe them your life. Well, you know what I'm not saying this right. See, I have problems talking. Just because they're your family does not mean you have to be in a relationship with them if they are hurting you. Gotta stand up for yourself. You gotta be authentically you. You cannot live to make someone else happy. You have to live to make yourself happy. And those who love you will either be happy or they don't love you. It's just where I've come to. So, thank you for watching. I hope this is helpful. I hope you got something from it. And please let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to. And please give me a like, thumbs up. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.